All right, you're live.
Hi everyone. So for today's session under Success Stories Driven by the Youth, we have Erica from Angola, and she's going to be sharing with us what her initiative, the initiative that she is the co-founder and executive director of Eco Angola, what they are doing about this global plastic problem. Over to you, Miss Erica.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is well, and I'm really happy and excited to share with you what we've been doing in Angola. First of all, I'm a biologist and an ecologist, and 2 years ago we started Eco Angola, which is an organization that promotes environmental education and conservation, sustainability, and we try our best to influence the growth of policies and infrastructure to answer to problems such as waste, the management of waste, conservation of biodiversity, the energetic transition, sustainability in different sectors, and also climate change. And we started this work in July 2019, and we have been developing some small projects. And one of our first projects was Club Verde, which means Green Club, and it's about environmental education. So what we want is to have environmental education in the national education curriculum in the next 2-3 years in Angola, because unfortunately we have noticed that most people here are not sensitive about environmental problems and how we affect it and how it affects us. So in January this year, with the work that we've been developing with small campaigns, and most of them were non-funded, we have received this project from the European Union, which is Angola Without Plastic, which in Portuguese means Angola Sem Plástico. And this project has a timeline of 9 months of implementation. So we're right about at the end of the project. It ends between September and October this year. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what we've been doing here in Angola in terms of environmental education, of what we've been doing with the waste we collect, etc., etc. I did not prepare a presentation to you guys, but I talk a lot. So I hope I can answer to your answers and to your curiosity as well. So as I said, this project is funded by the European Union and implemented by us, Eco Angola. And basically, the main goal of this project is to implement a campaign to raise awareness about responsible consumption. That because in Angola, unfortunately, most people use a lot of plastic bottles, a lot of plastic bags, and most of them single use. And we do not have strategies to treat that waste and to recycle that waste. So most of it ends up in the oceans, in the rivers, in the soil, or it's either burned. So what two of our specific objectives to actually understand, how this system works was to start with a dialogue with the main parties involved in the trade and use of disposable plastics. So we're talking about the ones that produce it, so industries. We're talking about the supermarkets and small stores that sell the plastic, and also the people like us who buy the plastic, and as well governmental institutions. So in Angola, we have two main governmental institutions that deal with environment and also plastic use, which is the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Environment, and the National Agency for Waste Management. And our second main objective was to share good practices about responsible and conscient consumption. So we've been doing that by having a digital campaign and also a presential campaign that we walk around. And this project is specifically for the capital city. So we're talking about Luanda, a city that has around 10,000 million people. So our action plan started with a digital awareness campaign. So if anyone wants to have a look, unfortunately, most of it's in Portuguese, or if not all, I think only the website is the one that we can translate, and you can choose the language that you want to read on. But everything that we publish is in Portuguese. So I think that creates a little bit of a difficulty for other African countries to see what we're doing. But we started with doing weekly publications on Econgola's social networks and also the collaborators that we have regarding responsible consumption and the impact of plastics on the ocean and even in our public health. Then for us to understand how people look at environmental education and look at the pollution that we're causing, we wanted to understand the different social perspectives, because in Angola we have a very big gap between people who are poor, very poor, people who live, in a medium kind of lifestyle status, and also the ones who are very rich. So all of these people have different perspectives about their use of plastics. So we started with a digital survey, and we also did face-to-face survey in open markets, and you also have the information here. So we did that in February and March this year, and we also will share the results of the survey soon because we still have one more survey that will be live September this year. So we will release the report of all the results that we had, but the first ones we've used to actually conduce our project, because it showed us, how people working in the open markets felt about it. So I'm talking about so people that sell things in the street, people that they don't actually sell in a store or something. So we wanted to understand how we could implement something that would make a change, that would make them understand that, and would create an alternative to their plastic bags. Then we also had a meeting with distribution and trade companies. So we're talking about supermarkets. And in every meeting or every event we publish summaries of what went on. So what was the main objective, what was the results, what is the action that will follow that action that we did. And we realized that supermarkets here, unfortunately, do not have this social or environmental responsibility, because their response to the strategies that we suggested to them was almost zero. Only 1 or 2 supermarkets got engaged in some of our activities. For example, we've been conducting some beach cleaning campaigns here, and some of these supermarkets have joined the campaigns and have also mobilized people to it. But we wanted to put strategies inside the supermarkets with flyers, with information. We wanted to educate the people that work in the supermarkets to try and they would be also educators for people that would go to the supermarket, instead of being the ones making us buy more bags. Because one point that actually is important is that in Angola, we don't buy bags. They're just free in the supermarket. So if I go and I want to buy a pen, I can take 5 bags and no one will care. So that's where we wanted to target.
Excuse me, Ms. Erika, sorry to cut you short, but I'd like to allow a few questions, if there are any, before you continue.
Okay, sure.
Are there any questions?
I do not see any.
Okay. Okay, on the issue of because we seem to be a little pressed for time, I would like to know from more of the creation, the conceptualizing of the project. How did you get started? Because I'm sure a lot of you are always would wish to start a program of such magnitude and would like to get involved in changing certain problems with their particular communities. Where does one start? Where would you say one needs to start?
So I think the starting point is to create a community, create a supporting community, a group of people. You can start with one other person, two, three, and you will see that it will grow. It's a movement. When we started with Eco Angola, it was two people, became three, and now we're 160 volunteers that produce the projects, that develop and implement the projects. And in our campaigns, we're not having an average of 200 to 300 people that join. And we had some campaigns that we had around 800 people joining. So it's really a movement. And one of the main points is how you communicate that, because sometimes we're a bit we do things but we're not communicating. So I think it's really important to be active on social media, and especially because younger generations use social media for a lot of things. So it's really important that we use these tools to engage with people and to engage with young people so they can join. And I think that it's about being open to listen to what other people are saying. What suggestions do they have? Before we go to a community and we try to prepare a project or bring a solution, we need to understand exactly what are the community needs. And usually we involve people from the communities to work with us. Because let's say me, as an individual, I don't have the same perspective as the people who live in different places. I might see it, but I don't feel it in the same way. So I have to be open to understand what solutions do they might think it will work. And then my job is to try and put together, complement, and create a project. So they have to be part in every step of it.
Oh, okay, thank you for that insight. Nilio, I hope I'm saying your name right. He asked, how can they do partnerships with Eco Angola? So I guess he has another organization, and he's questioning whether it would be possible to build a collaboration with related projects.
Definitely, we're always open to do collaborations. And one thing that actually made the difference for us to become one of the biggest environmental movements in Angola was that openness and willingness to work together. Because I feel that some associations, some NGOs kind of compete against each other. That's how I felt when we started Eco Angola. And we put it in our vision that we wanted these associations to actually create a whole macro strategy, and each one of us will target one thing. Because otherwise it feels like we're working against each other, but our mission is the same. So if you want to get in touch with Eco Angola, actually you can either get in touch with us via our website. So how can I help? It's actually how can I help? Sorry for the translation. So what can you do? You can donate, you can be part of the Green movement, or you can also get in touch with us via email, explain, what's your organization, what are your thoughts, what ideas do you have, and then we reply via email or through our social media. But via email is way easier because we receive a lot of messages on social media.
Okay, thank you so much. You're such an inspiration, being a young woman, being able to start this initiative, which if I recall correctly, you started during the pandemic, which is also extraordinary in its own right. And it's very encouraging to the youth, and I hope they are encouraged to go out there, realize the problems that they can assist with in their own communities, and build platforms like Eco Angola, where they will be able then to put together other youth into one space and help in their own communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I say anything else, or are we done?
You can say some
Yeah.
comments.
I just wanted to say I see that we have some people here in the comment section, and I just wanted to say that we can start even by small steps. We can start by being an example. We can start in our own homes. We can start at school. We can start at our universities. When we started with Eco Angola, I was still studying, and today it actually became my job. So I didn't even know that I and the community we would be able to build this and to have such a great impact in Angola. So I feel that being open to see what's going on, I think we also need to relate and connect with other movements happening in Africa. I feel that we like to look at very developed countries as benchmarks, but we also need to look what's going on with our neighbors, what's going on in Namibia, what's going on in Kenya, what's going on in Zambia, and to learn with each other, because most of the problems that we have are very similar. And it's this exchange of ideas and solutions that I feel that we need to support and to promote, because I feel that we're very disconnected as as a continent. And yeah, just start. That's like Nike says, just do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh.